Bruce Wayne may appear to be a wealthy playboy, but beneath this facade, his true identity is that of the Batman, waging an endless war against crime. Join the Caped Crusader in Batman The Audio Adventures, the first scripted audio original featuring Batman and his villainous rogues gallery in a world premiere story of life and death in Gotham City, debuting exclusively on HBO Max. This rollicking adventure, told across 10 episodes, is written and directed by Emmy winner Dennis McNicholas, includes devilishly delightful original music by Doug Bossy, and performances by Rosario Dawson, John Leguizamo, Chris Parnell, Melissa Villaseñor, Seth Meyers, Jason Sudeikis, Brooke Shields, Fred Armisen, and many, many more. Go to hbomax.com/Batman Audio Adventures for more and stream Batman, The Audio Adventures only on HBO Max. Welcome to another episode of Countdown to Infinity, a Marvel's Avengers podcast. We talk all things of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I was about to say Marble because I was thinking about Squid Game.
The disappointment in your voice. You were like, everything. Oh my god.
Yeah. The Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes.
And I guess now the Cinematic Universe is also the Streamiverse. The Streamiverse. Just in overall, a lot of stuff. And we just wrapped up talking about What If, and we'd been going through all of the Disney Plus series. And this week, as we await the release of the newest Marvel film, we are going to be talking about some Marvel news, and then we'll take a fun BuzzFeed quiz.
And we also just talked about Shang-Chi. So
After a year, 2020 was a rough year if you were a Marvel fan because there was very little new content to consume.
And then 2021 hit you like a train.
Hits you like a train.
All the streaming.
I think there have been less weeks without Marvel content than there have been...
Ever?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like, gosh, it was like weekly for WandaVision and Loki. Yeah. And then suddenly you had a Black Widow in there. Yeah. And then Loki and whatever. So I feel like we've got a pretty good...
Winter Soldier. Not Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. We've had a nice, healthy treat. Yes. A nice, healthy... we're gorging ourselves on Marvel stuff, but
and now we're waiting for
the Eternals. But we're gonna talk a little bit next week about what that movie is all about and who is in it, in case you want to kind of get a little prepared for that movie. I know that some reviews have been out, which we'll talk about here in a bit. But I know that whether or not you pay attention to reviews as much as other people, you'll probably watch it regardless. But before that...
because we will either way.
My name's Manuel.
My name is Sophia.
And we are the hosts. Friends.
Host friends.
Host friends who are also lovers.
Yes.
We kiss on the reg.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yes.
Kiss on the lips. On the cheek.
All right. And that's it. End of list.
And
End of list. End.
Okay.
End of list.
Well, the first big thing we'll talk about. So November 4th is the release.
What is with you today? My gosh.
November 4th is the release of Marvel's The Eternals by Chloe Zhao, with that amazing big stellar cast around the Eternals or the Celestials.
Yeah.
And the premiere was last week in mid-October, so people have already seen the movie.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And for everyone else, They have not, but the early reviews, the embargo has been lifted, and it's a little mixed. There are some people who have seen the film and think that it is incredibly, maybe like a little too formulaic. Maybe it feels like it should be more different than it is. A lot of talk about how much CGI is in it and how much dialogue is just pushing stuff forward.
Okay.
But we'll have to see and reserve our own judgments for when we watch the film. It's tracking right now to be a pretty big opening, $80 million. That'd be on par with Black Widow and maybe even more than that.
Right.
And it seems like a movie you have to see in IMAX, right? Like it's a very pretty movie, at least.
Yeah, well, knowing Chloe Zhao, like you are gonna have to see it either way in an appropriate screen because of just the way that she films her movies. Yeah. And so that I'm excited for, just because I love her.
Unlike Black Widow, it's not available on Disney Plus, so you kind of have to go.
Yeah, you got to go watch it. Academy Award-winning BT Dubs.
Yeah. She won that Oscar, and I think
did.
Maybe that is one of the reasons why some people
have some expectations for her.
And they're maybe disappointed. But again, What?
I mean, but you also have to think about her style of film and placing that with a Marvel movie and what you're gonna get.
Chloe Zhao normally edits her own movies. She's very instrumental. She shoots in magic. She has very particular things that she does in these smaller scale films, projects, really passion projects. She uses non actors in a lot of these roles.
Right, which is not what Marvel does.
You can't do that in Marvel. You can't go into space and be like, I'm going to use real aliens in my movie.
Right.
It's going to be a little different.
It's very different.
I think she controls what she can control. If you are... Taika Waititi talks a lot about this, actually, when they ask him about doing Thor.
Hi, Taika. And
he's very... he does his own things. He's got his own comedic stuff, like Hunt for the Wilderpeople, Jojo Rabbit.
Right.
And he says, it's already a moving train. It's like a cruise ship. You're there to help what you can and to add a little context to what you can, but... There's all this stuff happening already, baby.
Yeah.
You got to just hop on. So
yeah,
we'll have to see. I'm still really excited. And the reviews are mixed, but they're not bad. I think people are... This is almost the 30th Marvel movie. I think people may just want something... Yeah. Or no, they want something totally different. And it's going to be hard because these are superheroes. So
yeah,
there's going to be a lot of similarities between all of them. Mm-hmm. But we're excited. And I think Andrew and I will be... doing our first thoughts or the first review episode for that in a couple of weeks, and then we're going to do a really big Eternals episode right afterwards. But a lot of Eternals left.
Spoiler free first?
Yeah.
Nice.
Spoiler free first. But speaking of releases, Disney has announced some movement in some of these release dates. I know that we were really excited
to
see a lot of Marvel stuff next year.
Yeah, I saw this already.
But they announced, and because of...
Do you think it's because of the Batman movie?
Maybe, but it feels like Disney also, not just outside of Marvel, Disney releases their dates 5 years ahead of time.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
And they always have these like untitled Marvel, untitled Pixar, untitled. So they reserve... It's kind of fucked up. We can't do that. We can't go
They have like space in between. It's like buffer time almost that they give themselves.
We're not allowed to go to like a hotel and be like, I'm going to give you 6 different dates.
And
I'll tell you when it's happening. But Disney gets to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
So they, because...
I mean, what are they going to say? Like, oh, you know what? Yeah, no, just kidding. Like, you're right.
It's ridiculous. But, the reasoning behind it is production, which makes sense. Production's delayed. And particularly with Marvel, we'll go over the dates here in a bit, but Marvel is something that kind of has to happen in order, which is kind of interesting.
Right.
They can't just say, oh, this, Black Panther 2 is done filming, is ready to go, so let's just push that out now, because there might be something in that can't be unveiled until after Doctor Strange comes out.
They did it with freaking Black Widow, though.
That's true. Yeah, Black Widow came years too late.
Way too late. But yeah, I mean, because you have, like you mentioned, there's already over 30 more, or this Chloe's is the 30th movie, or I don't remember what the timeline is. But
soon be at 30.
It's going to be 30. And so with that many movies, there's some Easter eggs already laid out, especially when you have after credit scenes that are very on the nose of what's to come. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can't just not have an order to these things because it's just meant to be. It's just meant to make sense like that. So, yeah.
Well, Spider-Man and Eternals are not affected. Those are still going to come out in the next couple of months. Mm-hmm. But wow, my computer is way too big. But sorry, I was going to
first world props.
No, I was going to hold it up so I can read it.
But you want me to be like, how big is it?
Big enough. But moved, now changed from March and into May. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness will kick off the day after your birthday, May 6th.
Thanks for telling everybody when my birthday is.
Sorry, and everyone, here's her social security. Write this down. Thor: Love and Thunder will release in July 8th. Black
22.
Panther: Wakanda Forever will come out November 11th. So that'll be the holiday release of that year. And then the Marvels.
11/11. Wow, fun.
1/1/1/1.
Sorry.
The Marvels, the Captain America sequel will come out February 17th. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, May 5th. And Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, July 28th. And it's important to note there's like 10 other unmarked Marvel movies.
Untitled.
Untitled. And so this is just what we know is in production currently or maybe even done shooting. Yeah. Thor: Love and Thunder, I think, is done. Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness.
It's just editing.
Done. Yeah, they're just working it out.
Cool. Well, then in that case, whoever released the Spider-Man trailer, can you just release the rest of the stuff, please?
Too, yeah.
Thank you so much.
We want to see green screen Benedict Cumberbatch.
Undone footage, please. Thank you.
Yeah, really bad looking shots of stuff that will ruin a movie a year from now.
Yeah.
That's what we want. I've gotten to the point where I don't really even like to watch trailers at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm like, okay, this is nice, but you just showed...
My ass. You just showed me the Batman trailer and you were so psyched.
It was
so
good.
psyched for it. Then you also showed me the Eternals trailer like way before like the very like an hour I think after it was released.
Here's the problem now that I'm finding, especially with horror movies. This happens a lot with horror movies, especially when those scare sequences are in the trailer you watch. Mm-hmm. But we watched Dune last night, and the whole movie I was like, when's that sandworm scene at night? Because it was in the trailer, and I was like, this sucks. But I'm like, I know that sandworm's coming out at night.
Oh my god.
So now I'm like,
whatever.
Damn.
No.
Anyways, yeah, we'll probably still watch them all.
100%. And we also watched the released footage or the spoilered footage from the trailer of Spider-Man 2.
Whatever. All right, here we go.
You blew it up on our 80-inch TV from your cell phone.
Yeah, circle it with a little dry erase. All right, whatever. Here's something that is a rumor. But rumors of rumors, but it comes from a pretty reliable source, and that is the fact that a movie that might be one of those untitled films is World War Hulk. This is a really insane run in the comic books where the Hulk fights, quote unquote, the Illuminati, who are just some other superheroes that accidentally kill his pregnant wife.
Illuminati.
Yeah, but it can't be exactly the one from the comic books because Tony Stark is in it and he's gone now. But so is Doctor Strange and a bunch of other people who try to control everything. But World War Hulk, it will be interesting because She-Hulk is going to be coming out soon, and that stars Tatiana Maslany.
That makes sense, yeah.
And who knows who else? But we know that Mark Ruffalo is in that show. But
cool.
but I'm not sure if he's retired from Hulk at all. Really?
What do you mean?
Like his character in the MCU, like the other original ones, a lot of them passed away or are gone now, like Iron Man or Captain America.
Hulk is still there.
Hulk will never die, technically, but it'll be interesting to see what his role is if this is confirmed, whether he is just going to be kind of a supporting character, kind of like he is in Thor.
Oh, I get it.
But Ragnarok.
Not like his own movie.
Mm-hmm. Or if it'll be Tatiana Maslany, who's She-Hulk in that show. But
look at all those.
Are you excited for maybe more Hulk?
Yeah, I mean, why not both? They can both run it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be he or she that drives it. It can be both of them.
And there might be, I mean, this is kind of insane because there hasn't been a standalone Hulk movie in a really, really long time.
I really don't remember Mark Ruffalo had a full-on Hulk movie?
No,
right?
No, he was introduced in the freaking Avengers.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't understand why they haven't given. I mean, I guess they just gave ScarJo her first, so like it's kind of taking time. But I think that they should. That'd be cool. I would love to see him. It's
really kind of interesting because technically the standalone movie rights for the Hulk belong to Universal. Not
really
Disney. They kind of got away with it because they didn't get a standalone. They didn't use him. Solely in all of the movies he's in.
Right.
But there were reports last year that the rights have reverted back to Marvel because Universal didn't do anything with it. So we'll have to see if that's the case. Nothing was ever confirmed. But it's one of those weird rights thing because Hulk is one of the biggest Marvel characters. So Spider-Man's up there.
Yeah.
Hulk's got to be up there. There's a lot of different Hulk movies and people will get those Hulk smash gloves and stuff. Green. Everybody knows green. The color.
Oh, and also like those gloves have been around since like the 90s. Like those have been the best way.
Yeah, he had a TV show. So we'll have to see. She-Hulk, I think, is a good sign that Disney does have the rights back because they're doing their own
because now
thing.
they're like, oh, cool.
But the Bruce Banner Hulk, we'll have to see.
They have the green light.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to make... Okay, that's bad stuff. It's really bad. Bad joking.
Whatever.
We'll have to see. World War Hulk again. Nothing is set in stone, but hopefully we get it.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
There's now also, so this is kind of not really news, but I guess different context. As we move further away from the first films, a lot of those creators are out talking about their experiences. Amy Pascal, the head of Sony, has a new book coming out where she talks about how Sony, who owned the rights to Spider-Man, they were so, I guess, committed to the Spider-Man storyline that she was really upset and cried after Kevin Feige was telling her that they were going to be, they were coming and taking Spider-Man into the MCU and stuff. But then she realized that it was, all for the best, and that they tried with Andrew Garfield. But kind of crazy, because Sony and Disney have this interesting kind of relationship when it comes to Spider-Man, because Disney doesn't have the rights to Spider-Man.
I want to know who released that information.
She did. It's in her book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She's still the most important studio head Sony might have ever had. She kind of runs that place in a really specific way. But Spider-Man is one of those big, giant, can't be any bigger IP than Spider-Man. So it makes sense that she's kind of.
It was even in The Simpsons.
Yeah,
Spider-Pig.
I think if I was tasked with like protecting the legacy of Spider-Man, I would be very
emotional too,
and very protective of it. Does that make sense? I'd be like,
oh yeah, that's your job.
You're gonna do what to you're gonna put him in what and do what, and I think that it makes sense, and I think ultimately she says it's, especially now that we're maybe headed towards multiple Spider-Men in a movie, that after decades and decades of Spider-Man, that maybe we need to give people something new, like something they've never seen before.
And
instead
what
of
does this mean for Tom?
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Because he's so young. Like, that's why they picked him.
We haven't seen Venom 2 yet, but apparently we need to.
But we are seeing it in Disney stores, or on the Disney. In Disney stores.
Yeah.
And we're also seeing it in what do we call it?
I think we got to watch it ASAP, because apparently there's some big.
There has to be something linked.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they already referenced Tom Holland in the first Venom, but it may get even crazier. Let us know, people. Sorry, we haven't seen that movie. Yeah. The other piece of news that kind of comes from the history is from the Russo brothers, who made Captain America: Winter Soldier and Civil War, and then of course Endgame and Infinity War. But they talk a little bit about the Marvel Creative Committee that Marvel had up until 2015, but it was basically some stalwart people who were put in place by Ike Perlmutter, the old owner of Marvel, and they were pretty brash. They were very against the progressive ideas of Kevin Feige. And apparently they were the reason why it was disbanded in 2015 was because the Russo brothers wanted, in Civil War, they wanted Captain America and Iron Man to fight each other. And this creative committee, made of people who had been working with Marvel forever, they thought that shouldn't be the case, that Captain America and Iron Man shouldn't fight each other, and it made Kevin Feige so upset. He went to the head of the studio, Alan Horn, and they disbanded the committee, and they were like, okay, Kevin just has to ask one person instead of everybody, little group. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of interesting to think of, and maybe that's why we have movies like we do now that are so kind of out of the box and different.
Yeah, but as an audience, you appreciate ideas like that, because it's something that you would never expect, which is obviously something that any audience would want. And so I think that Kevin, good for him for standing his ground. And also, you have to be kicking yourself if you were part of a committee that said no out the gate, because look at his track record now. Like, now, who the fuck is going to tell him no now? Do you know what I mean? Like, and everybody knows his name. Everybody knows obviously what he's done for the MCU. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
how much he's contributed.
They turned down the opportunity to make Black Panther sooner, Captain Marvel sooner, like all of the movies that really became one of some really big successes.
Really important too.
They had to get out of the way in order for Marvel to do some really fantastic work. And all right. Well, it's time for us to take a BuzzFeed quiz. I've got it here for you. You haven't seen it, so why don't you read us the description, the name, the description, and then the author.
Okay, so it's walk us through your spending habits. You're just throwing me under the bus here. And we'll reveal which Marvel character you are. Aww. So, budgeters, assemble. This is by Kaylee Hansen, who is a BuzzFeed contributor. So thank you, Kaylee, for creating this. And I'm going to feel bad about myself after
Especially since we just did a full day of eating out and shopping.
And eating out and being...
Spend that money, honey. Treat yourself. Mm-hmm. That's from Parks and Rec, and now it's a thing. Isn't that exciting?
Treat yourself, yeah.
Well, not exciting, but that's crazy. All right,
it's accurate for sure.
So you can find this yourself at home and then tell us what your spending habits are.
I'm happy that spoiling yourself has now been like a self-care type regimen, which I appreciate so much. Because you know what? Don't talk to me unless you're gonna self-care with me. And
I don't want to be a downer.
What?
But that is like that is something that companies and capitalists love.
I know.
They're like, oh, cool. You're no guilt-free shopping?
Yeah.
Yes, let's do it.
100%.
I think that I realized that after I saw a tweet from like Macy's and then Walmart.
To treat yourself?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. You mean treat you. So
I feel like Starbucks was the first one to hop on that, though, because Starbucks is always like, you know what? You deserve this.
It's fine. I get it.
You deserve this coffee.
Hey,
now
make yourself
give me
feel better.
$8, please.
Yeah. Do whatever you want to, I guess, to make yourself feel better, but also realize who you're making rich.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's play this fun game.
So, do you want me to do number one first, or you read it?
Here we go. Here's the first one. Some of these are really long. And they're very specific, but I think that just means it's going to be a whole lot of fun. We are going to go through these and answer them, but you can answer at home too. But by the end of this, we'll know what Marvel character we are based on how much money we spend. And here we go. In an alternate universe, you acquire superhuman abilities. What are you splurging on first? So you've got superhuman abilities. What are you splurging on first? So you can splurge it on super high-tech gadgets that will enhance your powers, an entirely new identity. You want to remain anonymous. A rad super suit that makes you look fly. Ooh, that sounds weird coming out of my mouth. A private investigator that will make your family protected. Make sure your family is protected from enemies. Nothing. A shield with your logo, perhaps. You don't buy anything right away. You prefer to wait and see what you actually need.
I like the nothing version. The answer. That's funny.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. And it's not like you got more money. You just got superhuman abilities. So now you're spending. Well, before we get into this one, who do you think of the Avengers spends the most money?
Ooh.
It's gotta be Tony Stark, right? He's rich at least.
I mean, yeah, but look at his income, though. Like, he was getting all kinds of war money. And then he was also getting money. Didn't he get money from Avengers Campus?
You know who is the richest technically? King T'Challa. Do you remember Wakandans?
That's true, yeah, vibranium.
They literally have unlimited resources of vibranium. So they're kind of...
That's true. Yeah, that's really true.
And Doctor Strange is rich and he can just make anything out of nothing.
What is money whenever you can travel to different universes, though?
Cut to Falcon and Winter Soldier. He can't get his loan. That sucks.
Right.
It's kind of crazy.
And then also, like... I mean, you have Captain Marvel who just travels from places... Like, does she need money ever? Yeah. I don't think so. Like,
she just takes it.
Not that she just takes it, but I mean, like, if you're traveling from planet to planet,
you don't get
universe
hungry.
to universe, like, what is it?
It's interesting. I think that's why I love Spider-Man so much, because he does need money. Spider-Man is just a kid.
He's just a kid in the...
But who knows?
Brooklyn? Now that the Bronx?
Well, they change it in some of this, but yeah, he's from New York.
All right, so...
I answered mine.
Super high tech... I really don't know.
In this universe,
got it.
You win the lottery. Where does the bulk of that money go? So you've won the lottery.
What?
Does it go towards a... Why? Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. There's actually a character in, I think, DC, and his superpower is he's lucky.
Oh,
like, he literally wins everything. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
In this universe, you win the lottery. Where does the bulk of that money go? Toward a dream business venture, to a charity that means something to you, a private island sounds nice, straight into your savings, towards paying off student debt, a mortgage, or something else responsible, to help family members. You distribute the money amongst friends.
God, no.
This actually goes beyond being a superhero. It's kind of just, what would you do as a human if you won a ton of money?
Yeah.
So tell me now, Sophia, how much money did you give me? What's yours is mine. What's mine is yours.
All right, number three, sorry. When it comes to finances, what is most important to you? Investing your money in the right places, building up your rainy day fund, having enough cash to do something fun. Honestly, you don't think about finances much. Wow, big baller.
Wow.
Or making sure that you have enough to support a family. Simply having enough to get by. You aren't interested in great wealth. Or the very last one is sticking to your well-planned budget.
This is like the most serious quiz we've done.
We've ever taken.
It's kind of a downer to think about, because then now it's like, now you're thinking about your actual money, and you're like, am I doing this right? And I am, yeah. Bitcoin, yeah. Bitcoin.
Business.
Here's the next one. Which of the below fits best with your current money goals? I like that we're not answering these either because we don't want our listeners to judge us. Don't judge us, listeners.
There's just so many options, though. That's why.
So which of the below fits best with your current money goals?
Oh, dear gosh.
Your goals are they buying stocks? There's a big risk, but also the potential for big reward. That's interesting. Building up an emergency fund that could last you 3 to 6 months. That is not long.
3 to 6 months?
Money goals, never heard of them. Recording all purchases in detailed spreadsheet. Jesus. Setting up automatic deposits, using a budgeting app that tracks your accounts and credit score, or chipping away at debt before working on growing your savings. That sounds reasonable. The last one's reasonable.
The last one sounds like what a lot of people do.
Yeah, current money goals. The emergency fund, that is way too short. You should, if you don't know what to do, if you lost your job for 3 or 6 months, that's bonkers.
That's really not a long time at all.
Some people don't have money goals. Setting up automatic deposits. I don't even know what that means. How's that a goal?
It's like automatic payments. I think to where you're comfortable enough to not worry about it.
Okay.
So, like, because if it's automatic, then it's automatically going to come out. So if you know that you're not going to have enough for it to auto draft, then that's a worry. Does that make sense?
Maybe. I don't know.
Like, you have to be comfortable enough to where it's like automatic every time.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I don't know what this question's asking. Yeah. This is. I put one that's like way out of what I would normally put. It says, "Oops, you overspent this month. How do you get back in check?"
Who cares?
Right. By picking up a side hustle to earn a little extra cash, by dipping into your savings to pay off your credit card bill in full. Inapplicable. You rarely overspend. By meal prepping so that you don't spend too much on takeout, by canceling a few streaming services. What's one more month of splurging? Or by selling old electronics on Facebook Marketplace.
Some of this is intense. If you're like, wow, I overspent, I got to start selling shit. That's wild.
A bit much. Yeah.
Sorry, I cussed a lot there. But that's I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot here that's making me sad.
Is it making you sad or anxious? I feel like it's making you anxious.
It's maybe making me anxious because I'm thinking about being in these positions and being like, oh, I got to sell my electronics.
And it's not like we've never been in these situations.
Yeah, but I mean like, oh my God.
But that's why it's making you anxious because it's like, oh man, I remember having to do that. That sucks. Yeah. And we've been there. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah. Sophia and I once lived in a car.
Yeah, we were homeless when we first got together. And it happened very quickly. Very, very fast.
All right. Here is my next question. Which big financial goal are you working towards? Entrepreneurship, becoming debt-free, paying off your car, retirement, home ownership, education, or vacation? Ooh. Which big financial goal are you working towards?
This is tough for me.
Yeah, treating myself.
I really don't know. Okay, I do know. I lied to myself. All right. Oh, mine's smaller. Where do you spend the most on food? Takeout. We see you delivery fees, cooking up, an elaborate meal for friends, dessert required, grabbing dinner and drinks while socializing, or groceries. You prefer to plan your meals and cook at home.
How much we spend most on food? It's groceries.
Oh, okay.
The most on food?
Sure.
Yeah. We spend a lot on takeout, but we're not doing it like, we don't eating out like all the time.
We just ate out a bunch today.
I know, but still, we still spent way more at groceries.
This is fair. Yes, no, this
Gotta
is
feed these damn cats and dogs and
that's
meats.
You know what? That's fair.
And we went to Costco.
Yeah, we did go to Costco.
Damn. Do you spend a lot on fashion?
No.
Yes, you will spend every dime to look good. Sometimes you will splurge for a new haul after tossing old clothes, or nope, you don't care about fashion. You're naturally gorgeous.
Do you think that I care about fashion a lot?
Yes. Yas,
really?
queen. Serve it, queen.
I don't think I care. I can tell you don't care. I'm currently wearing like pajamas that are years old, and they're not even like matching pajamas either. It's like recycled t-shirts that
Are you asking me if I noticed that you haven't been putting an effort in to the way you look?
Oh my God.
Is that what you're asking me?
No, that's so rude. loud. All right, so finally pick your biggest money-related pet peeve.
Ooh, this is good. I like this.
Hidden fees. When the entire table splits an uneven bill at dinner. Oh, I hate that.
All of this sucks.
When friends forget to pay you back on Venmo. Emmanuel.
I'm like opposite. I always forget to
tax time.
I hate taxes.
When places don't accept cash. Oh, I don't care about that. Overpriced stores, or you're unbothered. You don't care.
No, a lot of these trigger me.
Live your lives.
Hidden fees suck.
Yeah,
look at your bills, everyone.
That's fair. Yeah, everybody look at your bills.
I don't know why
especially your internet providers.
I don't know why people are splitting checks like that. That's bonkers. Unless everyone's sharing food, why would you even think
it's
about
on an uneven bill too, so like it's
not
gonna.
I just got water.
Someone's gonna be right?
Yeah.
Who had the salad?
Well, I got my thing. Although this whole entire exercise has been really difficult. So I don't like to think about my spending habits this much.
I really don't like overpriced stores, but also hidden fees suck.
Getcha, yeah. Sometimes they're both the same thing. Well, I'm going to read who I go. Oh, you know what? I'm going to read my description.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay.
You tell me who I got. Ready? Mine says, money doesn't grow on trees, but you don't really care. Your financial habits ebb and flow as you have the 100%. Ability to budget wisely beyond your years, but occasionally find yourself racking up credit card debt like a sapling. Your primary focus is the friendships and meaningful relationships in your life, and those people consider you a caring and loyal companion. While this is a wonderful quality, remember to take care of yourself as well. Treat myself. You might just see your good financial habits bloom.
Is it? Oh.
There's a lot of clues in what I read, but they're not. Don't even think about the money part.
I'm not thinking about the money part. I'm thinking about the blooming and the trees and the. Are you Groot?
I'm Groot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even it says racking up credit card debt like a sapling. Mm-hmm. That's just a tree. That doesn't. No one ever says that.
That's so weird. Yeah, that's a weird one.
Groot. I guess I spend as much money as a tree.
And you know what? 100% accurate because you do spend a lot of money.
But guess what else I do?
What?
I make a lot.
Oh my god!
So guess what? It's net neutral.
Shut up.
Net even,
oh my
baby.
Gosh. Okay, ready? I'm going to read mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, practicality and independence are your strong suits. Done. Just kidding. Because it doesn't come naturally to trust those around you, Emmanuel. It can take you some time to open up to others. You value being prepared for anything, which is why this is one of your financial strengths. And growing an emergency funds. Thank you. This is 100% true so far. Though you don't mind a bit of adventure in your personal life, you like to play it safe when it comes to money. So who do you think I am?
I think you're Black Widow.
Yeah. Did
you
see
are?
it? Did you
no,
see
I
me?
didn't.
Did you see it? No?
Honestly, the second you said independent, I was like, oh, okay. Because literally everyone else...
Yeah, I'm Natasha.
Everyone else in the MCU is really dependent on other people.
This is fair, yeah.
Well,
I love who I got. I think mine's super accurate.
We're never gonna, you know what?
What?
We're never gonna pay. We're
for
never
anything ever again.
Yeah, ever again. Who cares about your spending habits, everyone?
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, live your lives.
Inflation, whatever. Well, we've come to the end of this pod. Sophia, what do you have to plug? Oh, before we plug it, I will say something that you should splurge on.
What?
It's patreon.com/DelphinPod.
Oh, nice slide up in there.
Yep. It's good for you. It's good. It'll help you grow your funds.
Right.
Somehow. Mm-hmm. And you also help support the pod.
Do you want to go first then for plugs?
No, you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just thank you so much to everybody who contributes to our Patreon. That's also very appreciated. And if you want, you can contribute to it even more. And if you haven't already, you can sure start. Everything's going to be at patreon.com/DelphinPod, DelphinPod. And, you can also check out all the other shows that are on the Delphin Pod network, of course. Everybody's doing a great, great job. I love you guys. And then if you want to follow me on any social media, you sure can. Everything's going to be at _Simply Sophie, SOFIEE.
Yeah, we have a ton of shows at the Delphin Pod Network. I can't really list them all, but I will say Revenge of the Sequel is back, and it's better than ever.
It's back, baby.
It's back for a Halloween-themed month that is about to wrap up, and so listen to that. A lot of spooky sequels on there.
Can I guess what you're going to watch?
We've recorded them all, so...
Is it The Halloween movie?
Yes, Halloween Kills is one of the films we're talking about.
Halloween theme?
But beyond the Halloween themes, where we've got all kinds of sequels lined up, so that is out and new and really exciting. But definitely go to Patreon, and we'll see you next week. Or I guess you hear us.
You hear us.
You hear us next week.
You hear us next week.
Bye.
Bye.